resident parking stickers are now available for purchase at nahant.org. Metal white goods and TV recycling last Saturday of each month through October 31st from 8 a.m. to noon behind the DPW garage. Certain fees apply. Visit nahant.org for more information. Compost area is open on Wednesdays and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. beginning April 4th. Well into it. Visit nahant.org for a full list of accepted material. Resident sticker is required. We have a Purple Heart ceremony this Friday on August 7th, 2026 at the Nahant Life Saving Station. Refreshments will be served at 6 p.m. and the ceremony begins at 7 p.m. This event is open to the public. The Market by the Sea continues on Saturdays. We have August 15th and September 12th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Flash Road Park. Please visit the market page at nahant.org for more information or email ktaylor@nahant.org. This brings us to a meeting with the Library Board of Trustees. We are going to begin with a motion to open this joint session of the joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen. And I hereby move the Select Board open the joint meeting with the Library Board of Trustees. Do I have a second?
You have a second?
Roll call vote.
Patty Karras. Aye.
Pat Riley, aye.
Rob Tibbo, aye. We have a discussion now. We want to move to your presentation with the for the library.
Great, I'll move this chair around so we don't block your view.
Oh.
Folks watching in. Ann Spurn, I'm chair of the Nahant Library, Public Library Board of Trustees. And I want to start by thanking you, Rob, Patty, Pat, and Allison for your service to the town, for your leadership and knowledge and skills. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Today, we're going to start off, my colleague Ann Bromer, who's also a trustee, and Linda Jenkins, who could not be here tonight. We are one in what we are presenting to you tonight. Ann is going to start off with the presentation of the challenges, the significance, and the need. And then I will follow up with our plan for how to accomplish goals.
Yeah. Thank you, all of you and Allison, for giving us the opportunity to do this.
Oh, we're very glad you could join us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
So I do best when I have my thoughts written down because there's a lot I want to say. And I'll begin by saying, because it's always been there, looking serene and beautiful at the corner of Pleasant and Nahant Road, we often forget that our 131-year-old public library is a beacon of learning, belonging, and imagination. And there comes a time when it needs our attention to preserve it now and for future generations. Our library opened its doors on June 1st, 1895. The building was designed and built by Henry Ball and William Dabney, who were two of the leading Massachusetts late 19th century architects. It was the first electrified building in Nahant. Electricity was only discovered in 1875. This was the first. This is why there's some glass floors. It was meant for light. Consensus was then, as it is now, that it's Nahant's most beautiful structure, both inside and out. Nearly a century later, in 1991, it was added to the state and national Register of Historic Places. When it was built, the library was equipped with the needs of the time, which have long been outdated and threatened the building's viability. The current 200 amps of electrical service should be at 800 amps, based on last year's town engineering study. The building lacks fire sprinklers, modern fire detection system, and a security system. Plumbing is antiquated with water and steam that often is seen leaking from the radiators and damaging the floors. There's no updated HVAC system, which would control temperature, airflow, and humidity. As a result, many, many books have had to be thrown away because they get damaged. And we have an original 1819 collection that began this library, donated by William Wood. And this is in great jeopardy. This is the collection that defined Nahant as the third public library in Massachusetts. These books sit in a wooden case upstairs on the third floor in a room probably you've never seen. I think it's important that you get a tour of the library as it is now if you haven't been there for a while. This was the most beautiful room with skylights, portions of the floor that are glass. It is absolutely shabby, could not be used for anything, needs to be totally rehabilitated. And that's where the 1890 treasure collection is. Plaster, ceilings, woodwork, flooring, and lighting, which isn't light enough for many times to see, all need upgrading. Doors and windows must be replaced. Water collects at the main entrance during rainstorms, limiting access to the building, and in the winter creating ice dams, and often even seeping into the library. None of the windows can be opened. We were told that strictly by some of the installers. And so in the warm weather, you have no conditioning and you cannot open windows. In addition to all the serious defects within the walls of the library, misuse of space is of real concern. The largest and most beautiful room with its leaded glass windows, heraldic symbols, fireplace, and this gorgeous long chandelier was designed as an adult reading room. But now it houses all the children's services because there's so many children that come, and it's the biggest room in the library. But even with the serious problems of the library, because of our librarian and the other two librarians that she works with, they continue to do heroic work. And thousands of people come into this library every year. Anywhere between 11 and 14,000 is what we've clocked in the last few years. The library circulates audiovisual materials, games, jigsaw puzzles. It even has a telescope. Still, the book remains the most important and popular item at the public library, as it should, but it does. Not the e-book, the book that you open the pages. Programming attendance for adults and children have doubled in the last 3 years, with book groups, workshops, lectures, crafting circles, and these only scratch the surface of what is offered. The library has expanded its services. You can get free streaming of movies and of music through the library. It offers reduced prices for passes to a host of museums. The library is everyone's free place to become informed and to form community. It is a treasure, and it is unlike any other place in town for all of its citizens. In speaking with residents of Nahant, a common memory is being in the library as a child. Many of these same people say they haven't been back to the library in years. When we offer them a tour, they comment on how shabby the beautiful interior looks and ask why toys are strewn around what was once the grand room for adult services and programs. The big question they ask is, why did this happen? And how can we make it right again? Over the course of the last year, the trustees have developed their vision of what the library could be. We imagine a library reborn with its historic spaces preserved and revitalized. We also look to the future with a new addition primarily dedicated to children's services, where every young mind feels the thrill of discovery. Phase 1 would be the historic restoration, focused on the things I mentioned: fire safety, plumbing, HVAC, electrical upgrades, and interior refurbishment. Phase 2 would be the addition named for Calantha Sears, our great lady, our great doyen of Nahant, who was a children's librarian there for many, many years. The addition will be entirely funded privately. I repeat, the addition will not ask for town funds. It will be privately funded. I'd like to turn it now over to my colleague, Anne, who will detail library plans, a matching challenge grant, and our request for a special town meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ann. So as Ann said, we're here tonight to talk about phase 1, which is the restoration of the current historical library. And to ensure that it remains safe, it remains intact, safe from fire and other destructive processes, and functional for future generations. The trustees have been working really, really hard to raise private funds to support this restoration. We predict that we can raise the majority of the funds, which total $4 million. This is the amount that was estimated in a 2025 master plan that we commissioned, updated from $2025 to the present in terms of inflation that's happened since. This is for the full upgrade of utilities and electrical power, the fire suppression and detection, an HVAC system, a climate control system, as well as the renovation of the interior. The trustees have secured a commitment, and this is really exciting. We have secured a commitment from an anonymous donor for a match of $2 million of the $4 million.
That is very exciting.
Really,
Very exciting.
really exciting. And we have an active fundraising committee led by Ann Bromer, trustee. We can only have a single trustee on a committee because of the open meeting law. So each of us has separate responsibilities on separate committees. Anyways, the fundraising committee has broadened as more and more people have stepped up to pledge and gotten excited about the renovation of the historic library. We are confident that we can raise the 1 million to put against the 2 million challenge grant from the anonymous donor. And what we want to ask the town for is a $1 million contribution to match, a 3-to-1 match, to be taken from the excess proceeds from after cost from the sale of the lots or the Coast Guard housing. These funds must be expended on capital funds. They cannot be used for town operating expenses, so this request has no impact on people's taxes or on operating costs for the town. We're not asking you to make any opinions about that tonight. All we are asking tonight is for the select board to approve a special town meeting in this fall, because it is the voters of Nahant, not the residents of Nahant, that must approve this.
Mhm.
And what we ask you for is the opportunity to come and present this case in a special town meeting to the residents of Nahant. Our proposed timeline is to finalize the design and bidding documents we're in fiscal year 27, right? In fiscal year 27, by next July 1, June 30. And then to commence and complete the construction in fiscal year 28. As you all know, the construction costs are going up every year. So the timing is urgent. And that's why we're asking not to wait for the spring or the next town meeting or whatever and I think it's such a complex issue that we don't want to mix it up with a town meeting next year. And also we want to get going on this. So that's why we're requesting a special town meeting. We had conversations with Allison about whether to mix it in with the town meeting in this year. And it was, we didn't want to be competing with the override and mixing up it was already too complex. So we backed off of that. And now we're asking for a special town meeting. Why is the timing urgent? Number one, the building has critical needs. We are already, I have nightmares about fire, about, the electrical system. And the cost, as I said, the cost will increase each year. We have already started raising private funds. We have great momentum going. We are worried about that momentum, that we need to keep going. The momentum's there. We need to keep building it. And we're concerned that momentum could be suppressed by delay or by lack of town commitment. And our anonymous donor who pledged the $2 million challenge grant, also wants to see a commitment from the town. So a delay into 2027 could put our private fundraising at risk. And we have this extraordinary opportunity with a 3-to-1 matching grant for the town to put up $1 million from the Coast Guard Housing Fund proceeds to $3 million from private sources. So to reiterate, all we are asking tonight is for the select board to set a date for a special town meeting this fall. The residents of Nahant must vote to approve the expenditure, and we look forward to making the case to them. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Presentation. Very challenging information. In support of everything you've said, I can honestly say that the library and this building are equally exposed to a failure, whether it be fire or water. In either case, both buildings are suffering. There's no question about that. And what a wonderful piece of work all of you have put in here in finding a route out, a safe route out for the library. Everything that you've said rings a bell with me, and I had the opportunity to tour the library just a few months ago, and just the extension cords
Yes.
everywhere. And I will say, as someone who spent a good part of my career in the insurance industry, if this were a commercial building, I don't think it would be insurable. So it's something does need to be done, and obviously you have, as I said, found a safe route to make this work. And I'll stop there for now. I do have some questions for Allison, but do you, Patty or Pat, want to?
You go.
No, go ahead.
Okay. No, I just agree with your comments. The library is, I would say, the most beautiful building in town, and it's a big reason that the community is in support of the library. And it just even if you don't go every day, it's a beautiful building, and it's a beautiful space inside, which does need some tender loving care. But in terms of, we do have many needs, including this building. But certainly the library should be at or near the top of the list.
It's become the town living room.
Yeah,
You know,
Absolutely.
it's a meetings place, we have free coffee and people come and it's, I mean, the increase over the last couple of years has doubled and tripled and, I mean, it's really extraordinary what our library director has done to increase visitation.
And we come with 3-to-1 match.
Yeah.
I mean,
thank you.
I wanted to say thank you. That's amazing.
how many ask for something where you come with a private donor?
Incredibly generous.
Yeah.
And very lucky as a town.
Very much so, and I understand the need to act and the
Yeah, we
need
don't
to
wanna
act
lose them.
quickly. Yes, yeah,
Lose them.
I understand
They
completely.
feel very much that this must be public-private and that, after all, you own the building. Town owns this building. And it really, honestly, we all know this, it's been terribly neglected. Thank goodness the outside is fixed now. CPC and a couple of $100,000 from the town did fix the major leaks, have stopped, the roof is fixed, there's been some repointing, the mortar, the portico around it, the outside, not the doors and windows, but the outside facade is now intact. But the inside, everything,
Yes, I've.
from moldy rugs,
Yeah,
rugs are moldy. You don't want this.
No, it is disturbing that I know it is a very humid building and obviously this is not a good environment for paper. So this is a battle that you've been fighting for many generations, actually, given the way the building is constructed. Allison, I don't know if we can say that the Coast Guard money is going to be available this early. What's your thought there as far as any money, any funding that we might have available to help with this?
So there, we did sell most of the Coast Guard housing lots. What we first had to do with that money by law was to pay off the principal and interest on the original loan that we took out to purchase the property. Plus, we borrowed some additional funding to demo the buildings that were on that property. So now all of that is paid off. And net in that fund is just over $2 million.
Okay.
However, the select board has never had a formal discussion on thoughts for what, that funding is going to be used for. Again, by municipal finance law, it has to be used for a capital item, like Ann said, for which you would otherwise borrow. And that's the restriction on it. So these funds are sitting in an account reserved for appropriation. So yes, it would, whatever, it does have to be voted on at a town meeting for the use of the funds. But again,
We do have some expenses pending though.
so there's one lot that's currently under litigation. So once that's through litigation and we're eventually, hoping to sell off that lot too. So there will be some expenses incurred with that. The board is also speaking about the Castle Road redesign and rebuilding the sidewalk there. My thought was that some of these funds are to be used for that as well. But other than that, we haven't had any formal discussion.
Okay.
Can I add something?
Mhm.
I'm sorry. My unofficial official role is a financial sort of advisor to the trustees. My name is Carl Jenkins, for those of you who don't know. There is actually another little fail-safe system that we have in here for the benefit of the town. The first money that will be expended is the money that's raised from the donors, from whatever donors. So we're going to stick to the sort of the 3-to-1 ratio. So $1.5 million is going to be spent before the first 500,000 tranche would come from the town. Then the next $1.5 million would be spent before the final $500,000 tranche would come from the town. So the money is really, what we're asking for is that's really the last money in, not the first money in, which does a couple things. It gives you some support that we're actually going to be doing this before you just hand over money. But perhaps more importantly, it provides a window of time, if this isn't gonna happen tomorrow, that we are asking for the $1 million. And that gives more time for the litigation to be addressed, expenses to be identified. And it just gives you a little more flexibility and understanding what's available and when.
Allison, do we have other business pending for town meeting, or would this be the only item on the agenda?
So if there was a special town meeting, this would be the only item on the agenda.
Okay.
Just, it came up a little bit last week, but, my understanding, there's some unspent funds from the previous, I think it's approximately $200,000 was left from the previous town meeting. Is there the intent still to use that money?
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know if, Anne, you might be able to speak to that, so there has been
Yeah.
CPC funding approved for the library, maybe what that has been spent on and what's remaining of that.
Yes, so there was at the 2025 town meeting,
Right.
the town approved $700,000 for the library to be spent in a series of priorities, starting with the building envelope, then going to the electrical system, then going to fire protection, then going to security. The 700,000 included a bond by CPC of $500,000 and then $200,000 of free cash from the town. So at this point, the town has contributed $200,000 to the library. Before that, the town, I think, contributed in the last 30 years, like $2,000 to the library. The town has not really supported the library financially in terms of the upkeep of the town building. That's been up to us as trustees and the library directors to seek funding from foundations, from the state, and Nori continues to be aggressively looking for those types of funding, and we will continue to do that. The envelope work is now virtually complete. They're cleaning up some things in the interior damage that came from the leaking. The falling ceilings and plaster and walls, etc., is now being cleaned up and repainted. And that has left us with Allison told me last week, $139,000 of the 700,000, which we can't move on to anything next step because the next step would be too expensive. And so what we're proposing to do is to do this plan and set the whole plan out to bid. And it makes sense to us because it's going to save money in the long run. Put it all in one instead of just chipping away, and then as time goes on, it gets more and more and more expensive to do each of the individual items. Also, when you're doing the electrical work, you might as well be doing the HVAC work at the same time. Instead of, and also the fire suppression, the sprinkler system. So it makes sense to put it all in one box. And we have an architect who is agreed to continue. He's been working with us for 10 years, more than 10 years.
So
He knows the library,
Richard
Richard Smith. He knows the library. He's already completed, actually, under the 700,000, the bidding documents for an electrical, the plan for the electrical upgrade.
He worked with an engineer. They have
Yes,
they have
yeah,
a whole
and
package of what we need.
they've got a plan for what we need. And so what we're proposing to do is we have the special town meeting, hopefully will be approved, and we're going meanwhile full speed ahead with our private funding. We've got the 2 million challenge grant committed, and then our hope, actually, it's more than a hope. Our belief is that we could do this. We can do this. If we can get a 1 million from the town, we can raise the rest. And we can do it by end of fiscal year 2027, so that we'll be ready to start sending out bids for the work to be completed in fiscal year 2028.
We already have in the private funds outside of the challenge grant, we have commitments of more than 500,000. So we have about another 500. We want to raise $1 million. These are townspeople. This is us.
People are reaching deep.
People
Right.
really,
You
really.
know, we're not
want
talking all
support.
about people with lots and lots of money, we're talking about smaller amounts, you know, adding up. People are committed.
And we're going to start to have events or even people who want to make smaller donations
what-
than, I
what-
mean, we're going after some big donations.
What our anonymous donor really wants to see
Is it?
is a commitment from the town, substantial commitment from the town. And they also want to see a commitment, $10, $100. They want to see widespread commitment from residents of the town who love the library at no matter what the amount, you know, and that's our ambition also, is to not just go to people who can give $5,000, but to people who give 5, 10, you know, 100, 200. So that everyone in town feels a part of this renovation. That's our ambition.
Allison, if we were to have a town meeting in the fall, when do you think the better time would be? September, October, November?
So there's some work that goes into having a
That's what
town
I-
meeting.
Yes.
And I've explained that to Anne's very well versed in that. The finance committee, you know, has to get involved. They have to start meeting. They put together a recommendation on this. By the town charter, they have to send out a report of their recommendations to every household. It's a paper copy that has to, so there's some expense involved too, which I talked to Anne about. In terms of, you know, doing that work and then legal notification, Diane's online, so she might be able to speak to that in terms of how much notice we'd have to post for a special town meeting.
Yeah, so you have to post 45 days, I believe, for a special town meeting. Well, you have to post a warrant within 14 days, but you have to post other information. I'm not sure exactly on the special. On a regular town meeting, it's 45 days. Remember too, and the town meetings are all set up in the beginning by the Board of Selectmen, the Finance Committee, but the running it and housing it and everything, we have a election on September 1st, and then we have another one on November 3rd. So then you have early voting that uses up the town hall space 2 weeks before the November and a week before the September 1st one. So it's a lot to do before November, I think. I can look up for you what exactly the time limit is for a special. I know it's 45 days for the, while you talk, I can look it up quick.
But let me say, Diane, that, you know, we'd be prepared really now to go to the FinCom, to present.
We're already in conversation with the FinCom.
Yeah, I mean, we could go next week and present this to the FinCom. We are ready.
Mhm.
And we are really concerned, and I know Anne has said this, we don't want to lose this momentum. It's no kidding. This momentum is building. It's not, I'm not telling you something that isn't true. And there is no amazing opportunity like this. This is when we need to stand up for our library.
I have to admit that I can't recall anything quite like this in Nahant. It's usually a scramble to find any source of funds, and you're coming here with funds already in place and just asking for the usual. So this is unique in my experience. So
It's also unique that we have a fund.
we
actually have the funds,
we
yes.
have something on the side here for
Yeah.
the first time ever, maybe. So I guess the start, we could move right to a motion. I think this timing would have to be somewhat generalized in saying that it would be in agreement between the town clerk and a town administrator as far as the timing of any special town meeting. So a motion to approve a special town meeting for the purpose of I offering, transferring, however you want to put it, the available funds as requested of $1 million. As timing is allowed. I think that would be warranted. I just, well, probably said far too much to get to that, but.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so I guess I'll make a motion to support a special town meeting to be again in timing to be arranged or in agreement with the town administrator and the town clerk for the purpose of discussion and possible allocation of funds in support of the library's goals of reconstruction.
I'd like to second the motion, and I'd like to say thank you so much for all of your efforts. I know it's a lot of work.
It is, but it's work of love and it's worth it. This is for future generations. This library has sat there for 131 years. It'll be there long after me. I wanted to stand for another 131 years, and hopefully we will privately raise some endowment money
Yes, we aim to raise $1 million in endowment.
which we will do. We will do this. Just be a partner with us.
Have such momentum. So further discussion on the board?
So obviously I think that's a good start, and obviously we'll get to it, figure out a date, and we'll have another vote to lock that in.
Yeah,
thank you.
I think this is a good
Thanks.
first step. Well, first step for us. I know you've done
We've done,
tons of work to
and
get to
we
this.
have been in conversation with, we've had good advice from FinCom and from Allison.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Pat Riley, aye.
There's that.
And Rob Dibble, aye.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep working.
All the heavy lifting.
Diane,
Keep raising.
We will,
Thank
we
you.
will. And now I feel,
Energized.
yes, that you are
Thank you.
behind us.
Yeah,
That you are behind us. And with you behind us, how could we fail?
how can we not be? And obviously there are so many demands as far and hopes as far as some of this money is concerned, but you're here. I think the term is shovel ready. You're ready to go.
We are shovel.
And you have all sorts of additional funding available. I don't see how we can turn away on that.
And it's your library.
And it's our library.
We love the library as we love the fire department and the police department and the schools. This is our community, right?
Yeah, I have.
Well, from the library to the schools and the fire department.
And the police department, yes.
If
Fundraising capability.
yes, if you want to go after some additional.
Once we do the library,
Okay.
we'll have energized people.
Get everybody staying here.
Turn exclusive.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Alice.
That was fantastic.
Quick question from Bob Vanderslice here. In
Oh,
the
Bob.
in the
Yep.
interest of expediting this, is it possible to get a warrant or at least a draft motion that the FinCom can look at and react to?
Yeah, are you,
Well, I think we have to select a date for a town meeting first. And that, in the meantime, yes, I can work on a draft motion with the library, but I don't think you can have a discussion until we actually select the date, and have the warrant finalized. I'll be working with Diane over, we have another board meeting in 2 weeks. I think it's feasible for me to work with Diane over the next 2 weeks and select a date for the board to vote.
Would an outline of what the motion would look like, is that acceptable?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think something more concrete than, we're jazzed, we want to get this thing going, but we have to start putting some structure to it.
Mhm.
And I
Well,
think,
that's, I think, what we were saying. It doesn't, you can't just have a meeting. The date has to be 35 days after. Well,
No, I know,
this- I
Diane,
guess-
I understand there are significant scheduling challenges here. But I'm looking for a way to get the FinCom going in advance of the date. So if we just had an outline or a draft or something that we could look at or participate in crafting even, that would be awesome.
Allison could work with the library to
We can help.
make
Yep.
that draft. Yeah.
We will, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh, don't leave.
I
We
know.
never have anybody here.
I mean, I want to say when, but
No,
I
you can
won't.
go, but if you wanna stay, stay.
Get have food and refreshments.
Sorry.
Oh, we're gonna have to bribe.
There's water in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Now I will move to close the joint meeting with the library trustees. Do I have a second?
You have a second?
All in favor?
Petty Caris, aye?
Pat Riley, aye.
And Rob Tibble, aye. Under new business, we have a vote to approve event requests, the library book sale, swim fall cleanup, and fall youth soccer. So I move the select board vote to approve the following event requests. Nahant Youth Soccer on Saturdays, beginning on September 6, 2026 at 8 AM at Flash Road Park. The Friends of the Nahant Library Outdoor Book Sale. Okay. On Saturday, September 19, 2026 on Clark Street from 9 AM to 4 PM. And the Swim Fall Beaches Cleanup on Sunday, September 20th, 2026, starting at 11 AM on Doggy Beach in Short Beach. Do I have a second?
You have a second?
Under discussion, let's see, we have anyone interested in youth soccer can email youthsoccernahant@gmail.com. Youth Soccer Nahant is all one word. The library book sale will be held inside Town Hall in the case of inclement weather. And any volunteers for the swim beach cleanup will meet in Lowland's parking lot and disperse to Short Beach or Doggy Beach. Bags will be provided. However, we suggest you bring gloves. I think that's a good idea. Let's see, we have a second and any further discussion? All right, roll call vote.
Petty Caris, aye?
Pat Riley,
And
aye.
Rob Tibble, aye. Let's see, we will move on to vote to approve a Nahant police officer detail for the state primary election on September 1st, 2026. And I move that the select board vote to approve a Nahant police officer detail for the state primary elections on Tuesday, September 1st, 2026 from 6:45 AM and until final votes have been counted and tallied at the Nahant Town Hall, 334 Nahant Road, Nahant, Mass. Do I have a second?
You have a second?
Discussion? Roll call vote.
Petty Caris, aye?
Pat Riley, aye.
Rob Tibble, aye. Let's see, we'll move on to approve early voting hours. And I move the select board vote to approve the early voting hours for the September 1st state primary election at the Nahant Town Hall as discussed to Saturday, August 22nd, 9 AM to 1 PM, Monday, August 24th through Thursday, August 27th, 9 AM to 1 PM, and Friday, the 28th, 9 AM to 12 PM. Do I have a second?
You have a second?
And any discussion? Roll call vote.
Petty Caris, aye?
Pat Riley, aye.
Tibble, aye, we're flying now. Vote to approve the warrant for the September state primary. And I will move the select board vote to approve the warrant as provided by the town clerk and elections officer for the state primary on September 1st, 2026. Do I have a second?
You have a second?
Discussion? Roll call vote.
Petty Caris, aye?
Pat Riley, aye.
Rob Tibble, aye, and we're going to vote for appointment of assistant treasurer collector, and I'll move the select board vote to approve the appointment of Jen Kraft as the new assistant treasurer collector, effective September 7th, 2026. Do I have a second?
You have a second?
Discussion.
I can discuss.
Sure.
So this position, it has been vacant because we promoted KK Sherber from the assistant treasurer collector into the treasurer collector position. She's doing a great job. So we posted the position, we received a number of applications. KK and Ed did interview a number of applicants. I believe they interviewed 3 or 4. Jen came out on top. She's very, eager to be in the position. She's done great. She currently works in our building inspection department, wanting to take on a new opportunity. And I think that she'll do a really great job in the position. So we put the start date in September because now there will be another vacancy that I'll have to post for. And in the meantime, Jen's very willing to help, whoever does come into the new role in the building department, help in that. As well as KK has been doing assistant treasurer collector as well as treasurer collector. We kind of have cross training going on now that, we've been promoting these individuals from within, which is great to have a bunch of knowledgeable people in various areas. So that's why we did her start date for September though, because it will be a vacancy.
Okay, further discussion?
No, but congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
I'm going to toss in here. I have had an opportunity to work with Jen off and on throughout the spring and into the summer. And I have to say that I find her extremely pleasant to work with, extremely efficient in all of the transactions. And I'm sure that everyone in Town Hall is looking forward to working with her in her new role. I think it's a great choice and wish her the very best.
Well said.
So let's see, we need a roll call vote.
Patty Carazai.
Pat Riley, aye.
Rob Tibble, aye. And let's see. Okay, and now we got a vote to appoint a full-time police officer. I'll move the select board vote to approve the appointment of Joseph Barber as a full-time police officer with the Nahant Police Department. Do I have a second?
You have a second.
And the chief is here. The chief's online.
Oh, Chief Furlong,
Oh,
what would you like to share with us today? Tell us about Officer Barber.
And Officer Barber's also on.
He is. Good evening, everybody. Thank you. So Officer Barber has been a reserve police officer with us for a little over a year, maybe a year and a half now. But he comes with a boatload of experience. He's been at the Sheriff's Department as a correctional officer for the past 15 years. He's a certified EMT. He's just one of those guys that does things that you don't even have to ask. He's certified on the department motorcycle. He has aspirations of joining the NEMLEC motor unit. Very mechanically inclined. He's helped fix our police bike. He's helped fix Gino Spelter's personal truck. It's just one of those guys that is a go-to, and I can't say enough about him. But it's a no-brainer for me. I originally had on the agenda for 2 appointments. Unfortunately, my plans fell through, but I may be coming in front of the board again very soon to ask for another full-time appointment. Joe's going to be backfilling for Officer Baez, who gave his 2-week notice. Unfortunately, I just feel like Officer Baez came from a large department in Atlanta to small town USA, and it's just I don't think it was a good fit for him. So he gave his 2-week notice last week.
Okay, all right. Any further questions, concerns?
no,
thoughts?
welcome.
All right, then we'll go to a roll call vote for the appointment of Officer Barber.
Patty Carazai.
Pat Riley, aye.
And Rob Tibble, aye. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Happy to have you.
Yeah, can we anticipate a reduction in your maintenance budget, Chief?
I hope so.
Okay, let's see. Full-time police officer. So that brings us to a vote for a reserve police officer. I move the select board vote to approve the appointment of Elizabeth Hernandez as a reserve officer within the police department. Do I have a second?
You have a second.
Discussion, Chief?
Sure. Again, this is a no-brainer. Elizabeth is coming to us fully trained. She currently is working as a full-time police officer at Northeastern University Police Department. Prior to that, she went through the Lowell Police Academy, where she worked just over a year. Then she apparently transferred to Northeastern, but she's known to Officer Connor Robertson, our canine officer, and he speaks very highly of her. I've had a chance to interview her and speak with her. She speaks 3 different languages, very squared away person. I think she'll be a potential full-time appointment in the future.
Anything further?
No.
Roll call vote.
Patty Karas, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
Rob Tibble, aye. Thanks, chief.
Yeah, I
Thank
just
you,
want to
guys.
thank
Thank
the
you.
chief. We had some difficulty recruiting as of lately, but the chief has done an exceptional job finding, these new candidates, and really happy to have a new full-time officer on board, and a new reserve officer. So thanks, chief.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it.
Now we're going to talk about a student-led local environmental initiative.
That's why Maeve is here. So Maeve, come on up. She waited so patiently. She didn't know it was going to be that long.
I didn't realize who she was because I thought maybe she might be the new Lynn Item.
So
Hey, Mr. Chair, did
Paddock,
did we vote on that last motion for the reserve officer?
I thought we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want them to vote
Okay.
again?
I feel like we did.
No, if you feel like we
Okay.
did, I just missed it. Okay, good.
Jan fell asleep for a minute. So Vi Paddock, who I meet with regularly and does a lot of, obviously as part of SWIM, and does a lot of environmental initiatives. We're trying to kickstart the composting program in town again, which you'll hopefully see soon. But she brought up Maeve's name, and I actually met Maeve the July 10th festivities that we have. When I went out on a sailboat, she was the one that was sailing my boat. So I said, after that experience, I said that the town should be really proud of the young leaders that we have. She speaks like an adult and held a conversation with, my father and my mother, and then my 6-year-old that was on board with us. So I was very impressed. But Maeve has been very instrumental in local initiatives in town here. And one of them, which she is going to give us an update on, is the basket program at each of the beaches. So if you just want to talk about what you've done and how it's going, that would be great.
Thank you for inviting me to speak here. So as you know, when it started, it was just like a small idea with a few baskets, and now it has like really grown. We are expanding to put more basket stations on each of the beaches here in Nahant. And most recently, we are putting some new baskets on Doggy Beach. And it makes me just really happy to see people like asking and requesting for more basket stations, and to see people like posting online like, hey, I collect all this trash, and like I can already see the beaches much cleaner. So
Great.
yeah.
Thank you.
And now I understand at Tudor Beach, the signage was down for a bit, but that's been put back into place. And is it to your liking?
Yes.
So we want to make sure that people understand, what these baskets are for. They can come and take one. They take them down to the beach, collect trash around them, which, I've seen a lot too. And then they can bring it up to the barrels that our DPW, empties the trash. So I think it's a really cool initiative. There was another student, Mia, who I had asked to attend, and she's doing, do you know much about her project with the Manila clams?
Yeah, I know it's raising awareness about Manila clams.
So I know Vi is on. If she Vi, do you maybe want to speak about what Mia's doing? She was going to join, but she's traveling with her family. She said she might be able to join via Zoom, but she's like, I'm going to be out of the country. I'm like, yeah, you're probably not going to, you're not going to. So I don't know, Vi, do you know anything about Mia's project that you want to add?
I sure do.
Okay. Why don't you chime in?
So Mia, I'm sitting on the floor with my puppy. Mia contacted me as a leader of SWIM because she wanted to work on this project to collect these really horribly invasive Manila clams, and she needed an opportunity to educate the public. And so we had a really nice meeting down at the Dory Club patio, and we discussed it all. We shared ideas on how to do this. And so I suggested that she go to town hall and talk about this project, and ask permission to hang up flyers educating the public about about this invasive clam. And things just moved on from there. And then I suggested that she communicate with Maeve
So it's all just been really this really wonderful, warm feeling of, young people working together in our town. The residents of our town, they go to our schools. And then Allison picks up and moves forward with this. And here we are. I'm sorry that she's not here tonight, but I really hope she'll come and talk, because she also is a really charismatic speaker and very articulate about her passion. She's working with all kinds of other organizations also.
Very cool. Thank you, Vi. Yes, I'll have her attend a future meeting for sure. Maeve, thank you for your work that you do. And hope you're well, enjoy the rest of the summer. So it's not school time yet. Yeah. And what grade are you going into?
10th grade.
10th grade at Swampscott. Excellent. And what's your favorite subject?
Probably math.
There you go. Good girl. Thank you for coming today and presenting.
Thank you very much.
And educating everybody on what the baskets really are for. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Maeve. I think this is wonderful. If there's anyone that we reach out to and it was working on something, the younger generation, love to bring them to the meeting.
Okay.
Let's listen to that.
All right.
All right.
She's good on the college application.
Yeah, all right. She presented, she had notes, yeah.
Whatever we can do to help.
Both know her because we have kids that, are in the same
Similar
grade.
age.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can bring in your kids.
Everybody gets a shot.
Yeah.
So that brings us to ongoing business, and I'm gonna hand this over to you, Allison.
So in discussion with Pat, this first item is a discussion about the Linway multimodal project. So as you're aware, the MBTA, they've hosted 2 open houses here at Town Hall over the past year, talking about plans for the redesign of the Linway, asking for public input. They're moving the project forward. The design is not yet really known, but they do want to, my understanding is to incorporate a bus lane and reduce the lane of traffic, which is concerning to the town of Nahant, as well as Lynn and Swampscott and Marblehead. And I know that Pat has had some direct input on this. He's met with Senator Crichton. He's also spoken with some select board members in our neighboring communities. And so he asked that this be put on the agenda for a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, I had submitted my own comments for the project back in June with concerns about the impacts on the Linway, but also the regional transportation. I had circulated those. Actually, those got further circulated. Jim Walsh circulated them much wider, and I think it was it was Mary Ellen Fletcher and
Aaron Noonan.
I'm sorry. Yes. Aaron Noonan actually was the first person to reach out to me, and from both we met and discussed having all 3 select boards make comments to the state with some collective concerns, obviously distilled down to whatever simple concerns we could express. So they were going to go back to their boards they had brought my comments to their boards to looking for support. So I said I would come back to this select board and we would discuss supporting some sort of comments to the state or concerns that we could express.
Let's stay away. You forgot to say you would be finished.
I would have kept it safe.
Anyways, thanks again from the bottom of my heart for your service. I know it's such a big job
Thank you.
and so many people appreciate it.
Nice.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for that,
you.
but thank you for everything that you do for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a fraction of what you guys do.
You created a wonderful, wonderful living monument to what a group of people can do. And
Yes, and it's spreading.
yeah.
I can't wait to involve the school kids and the parent, and just expand this. Right now, the emphasis has been going to people with big dollars to contribute, but we have to make it has to be everybody's project.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anyways, thank you again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So glad you were still.
So Patrick, you're just looking for us to be on board with this, or?
So I right before the meeting, I did draft a short statement, and I did send it, so it should be in your emails. I can read that. I'm sure you have it.
But there's a perception down here.
Okay, so I can just read the letter and
Please.
then we can discuss, I think.
Yes.
So a statement of concern. The Nahant Select Board expresses serious concern regarding the current design of the Linway multimodal corridor project. The Linway carries approximately 41,000 to 44,000 vehicles per day. Reducing general purpose lanes from 3 to 2 will increase congestion, create spillover traffic on routes 107, 129, and lengthen emergency response times for Nahant and surrounding communities. While we support improved bus service and pedestrian safety, these goals should not come at the expense of regional mobility and public safety. We urge Mass DOT, the MBTA, and DCR to require an independent traffic and emergency response analysis and to incorporate meaningful mitigations, including parallel route improvements and signal upgrades before final design approval. Respectfully submitted, Nahant Select Board.
Thank you. I mean, I think that sounds great. Now, it would be submitted by us and also surrounding communities.
Well, they're working on their own
Their own,
statements
yeah.
with similar concern, yeah.
Okay, so will they distill all three into one, or?
Are the individual statements?
I think that's up to us. Right? I think it would be hard to coordinate too much further between all three boards.
Okay.
They took my overall analysis and report with looking at the congestion. I have not circled back this past week or the past few days with them to see where they're at. We could certainly do another round of circling back, or just submit a simpler statement. But we could we could elaborate on some concerns too. But.
We feel good about the data as far as what the end result will be in its current configuration, or are the assumptions built in here? What is?
Well, so I didn't put any data in this letter, but I think I think there's what I circulated before. I've run through multiple analysis. It actually does match up with the state's determination of they. Unfortunately, I think they've highlighted the 1 minute delay average on the Linway, but it's not really inclusive of the network effects on the entire transportation system. And also that's an average. That it's not, including traffic accidents and things. We know very well, I think, anecdotally, whenever there's construction and one lane is shut down, what effects that has on the Linway. So I'm confident, based on that experience and many of those experiences, that we do know what effects this will have on the Linway and also the wider transportation network. And that's what I think we're asking for is further study of what those be. The numbers are going to be the numbers, but
yeah. No, I think it's good to challenge them to respond and say how these situations that you've outlined are not going to develop in this. I mean, based on just simple logic as far as the volume of traffic going through there. God forbid we have another force main project where we have to dig up the entire Linway.
It will happen someday. Hopefully not in our lifetimes.
Yeah, counting on that for me. Okay, so
and also I just want to add, I think we've heard from our fire chief on multiple occasions, his concerns about the ability to get, mutual aid response times, from Lynn, through Lynn, and all the existing traffic and construction, and then we're just talking about compounding that. So I think there is a significant public safety concern that gives this board a good reason to make comments, versus, just considering the Lynn portion of this. I was hesitant, up until I looked at that and I said, well, this really will impact our residents and our town emergency services.
Would there be benefit in highlighting how isolated we are and the restrictions? I mean, our mutual aid response is probably gonna come from Swampscott first. Lynn also would be included in that, so they would be coming in through probably either Market Street or down off of Lewis Street. Yeah, so it could, so yeah, it could certainly impact us. Would it add anything to highlight our concern about getting ambulance service into town? ALS is coming from we don't know where,
Right.
that sort of thing, just to identify the town of Nahant, because there's only one way in and one way out, sort of thing.
We could certainly, I mean, we could modify this draft, or we could ask the chief to weigh in also.
I think
It's a bit of a chicken and egg. We would like the state to help perform a real thorough analysis.
Yes,
That's what we're asking.
yeah, because I feel like the focus has been so much on the traffic volume.
Right.
When I think about traffic volume, I think about, the first thing I think about is the inconvenience of trying to get to and from any location after the rotary, and
Work.
yeah.
Your job, yeah.
But the life safety issue, I think, we could put a red flag on that one too, and help highlight that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's top of my mind. Do you, in terms of this statement, is that sufficient to that, or do you think we should, give it a little bit of another go through?
If it were me, I would challenge them on the life safety issue also.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be specific, but I think it deserves mention, because again, we're so isolated.
Well, I do have I could definitely reread this section. I did say at the end of the first paragraph, in lengthen emergency response times for Nahant and surrounding communities.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that got it, okay.
And then,
I'm sorry, I missed it.
These goals should not come at the expense of regional mobility and public safety.
Yeah.
And then the final paragraph is, we urge Mass DOT, the MBTA and DCR to require an independent traffic and emergency response analysis, and to incorporate meaningful mitigations, including parallel route improvements or final design approval. So I think it's touched upon in 3 places.
That's fine.
Could certainly.
Yeah, no, thank you for highlighting that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't
No,
catch that
absolutely.
first.
I wish I had circulated earlier.
No, thank you for drafting that.
Yeah, I think it's very well drawn.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to vote on it, or just say, yeah, we're on the team?
Why don't we move to send this letter, and we'll ask Allison to send it.
Okay,
Can do that.
all right, so I move that the select board ask Town Administrator Allison Nieto to issue the letter as drafted by Select Board Member Patrick O'Reilly. Do I have a second?
You have a second?
Further discussion?
Thank you for drafting.
All
You're welcome.
Roll call vote?
Patty Karas, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
Rob Diggle, aye. Thank you, Pat. That's an excellent letter.
Thank you.
Castle Road redesign and sidewalks, do we have anything to talk about there today?
So the only update here is that the planning board did meet, it was last week, and I joined the meeting. And I think, Rob, you were also on the meeting. I joined via Zoom. There was still some confusion as to, you know, they want to put an agenda together. They wanted to finalize an agenda. I just wanted them to select a date to have a joint meeting to discuss the Castle Road sidewalks and redesign. So the planning board has selected the date of August 20th at 6:30. The select board and the planning board will meet here in person, but it will also be, there'll be Zoom available for any resident that, you know, wants to Zoom in, or they can be here in person. So that will be, you know, the initial kickoff of this discussion.
I think I thought your concerns were well expressed during the meeting. Thank you so much for speaking up.
So will there be an agenda for that meeting on the 20th?
So the planning board is still drafting in agenda, I believe. They didn't meet this week. I'm not sure if they're meeting next week. In my mind, the agenda should be broad. It should be a broad discussion. So I don't know. They didn't finalize anything. I think if they're meeting next week, you know, I will join that call and see what's discussed. But I think it's a more general discussion, and a plan for the sidewalks and Castle Road. So.
Okay, I'm certainly willing to open any discussion that moves this issue forward so that we can get this resolved.
Yeah, agreed. Move it forward being the key words. I don't want to discuss past. Move it forward.
How are we gonna get there?
Yeah, I think the only part the past will is just to understand where we are at currently with the right of way, and what are our options now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's exactly it. I agree. And parking policy, any meetings that,
So we had one meeting, it was on July 16th. Patty was there as a representative of the board. Most of the committee was in attendance, and obviously we discussed a number of different issues, but I think we focused in on what we can address first, and that is the signage in Nahant. So taking a look at by street, the signage inconsistencies, old signage, outdated signage. And while we're doing that, taking a look at kind of the parking capacity on each street. So we had a sign audit, I think I spoke about this before, done years ago when Tony was here. Zach had an electronic copy of it. I had requested it. I received it. And it was hard to decipher from that. They did a number mechanism, and so basically it was done to phase in. It was a 3-year approach to changing out outdated signs in town. So instead of having it by street name in the sign, there was a number mechanism that corresponded to the street. So I went back. Zach is now working with one of the original architects that worked on this. I do believe that they have it by street name as well. And so I'm in the process of getting that data, and then I'll be divvying it up amongst the committee members. So we'll start to work on that. That's just taking a little bit longer than I had anticipated. But then I was going, to divvy it up, give each committee member 10 or so streets to really take a look at the signage. And then we would reconvene with another meeting.
Good.
Thank you.
That's the only update I have for that.
Thank you.
You know what, it's moving forward, that's
Moving.
That's the thing, yeah, so thank you for that. So that brings us to your report.
Yeah, so I did, I've been away, I've been out of the office for a few days, but while I was away, I did receive an email from Chief Furlong that the Lynn Boys and Girls Club has selected the Nahant Police Department to receive the Commitment to Youth Award at their gala this year. And the chief already jumped off, so he doesn't even know that I'm saying this. But basically, the Boys and Girls Club is providing this award to our police department for their holiday initiatives. They've provided CPR and first aid training to their staff, as well as a number of other things. So I think that's a really cool accolade for the Nahant Police Department that I wanted to mention. There's also, I don't know if everyone's aware, but there has been this notification from FEMA that FEMA is pulling back funding on a number of outstanding projects from the 2018 storm. Nahant's listed on that memo, and the governor basically drafted a response really criticizing this because it does mean for a number of communities, including Nahant, that we could lose funding. The funding that would be lost in town here would be for the 40 Steps project. That's the only outstanding piece, which, as you know, we're very much working on. We're going through the permitting right now. It's already designed for the revetment there. It would be a shame if funding got pulled for that. And then for the town, we'd probably have to look to borrow because the project still needs to be done. Yeah.
The erosion there is
I mean, luckily for Nahant, that is the only project. I've been in touch with some other town administrators, for instance, Situate, it means millions of dollars for them. So again, we're getting legislators involved, really trying to push back on this. I don't know what's going to come of that, but I just wanted to make everybody aware that, you know, I'm joining. We have a MEMA representative that I meet with regularly. He's trying to find out more information for us as well. He did note that it's interesting that FEMA pulled funding for this, you know, for Massachusetts project when there's a number of older projects in other areas that they have not touched. So I found that to be interesting.
Well, I think we know why.
literally only a matter of time, in my opinion. But-
Yeah.
So just to ask you a question on the, so we've gone through design and permitting, is that where?
We're still in the permitting,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Permitting.
Yes.
Those all have costs associated with them. Where was that intended to be reimbursed from?
It's a reimbursable grant that we've already been approved for, and we've received extensions along the way, basically documenting where we are in every stage. We have Sustainable Coastal Solutions working on this, so.
So this is already fun. We've already started spending money.
Correct.
So
Yep.
Now they're clawing it back.
Yes.
Okay, just understand.
And the cost is about 75, is that?
So it's more than that. I don't know where they got the $75,000 that was in Governor Healy's memo. It's about 700,000 for us. So, yeah. I don't know where the 75,000 came from.
That was-
Okay.
Maybe less than zero on that.
That was a fuel adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my, okay.
So it's significant.
That is
It
significant.
is.
And obviously there's been a lot of discussion about this work. Originally, the town had planned to access, you know, the revetment to fix it in one way that would be utilizing private property. We decided to go an alternate route, so that had to be taken into consideration. But yeah, we're in the permitting phase now. So I've made, obviously, Sustainable Coastal Solutions, who's the architect for the project, is aware of this. He tends to join me on our MEMA meetings that we have bi-weekly too. So just trying to keep everybody in the loop and updated.
It's unfortunate we had to take an alternate route, but here we are.
And that's all I have.
That's all you have?
Yes,
Okay.
besides being exhausted from spending a day at Santa's Village.
You're doing a great job.
A typical North Conway thing, yeah.
Did you do that today?
We did it yesterday. Today we were at Cranmore Mountain,
Yeah.
doing all the,
Alpine
alpine
slide.
slide and jumpy houses and in 90-degree weather, so.
Yeah, what could be better? You know.
This is your break.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that brings us to citizens' comments. If we have anyone that would like to speak, it looks like iPhone 7 has a hand up.
Hi, this is Kerry Collins, 22 Breeze Hill Terrace. I just want to ask a couple of questions and I have a few comments. The library is a very important building. I definitely agree that it needs a lot of money. Did you guys just agree to have a special town meeting to appropriate those funds? Is that for this September you just voted for?
It's not, we haven't determined a date yet, but we anticipate there will be a special town meeting within the next few months.
And this is for the money, the capital money, the projects that the Coast Guard sales has generated, correct?
This would be a contribution to other monies that have been
Okay.
identified.
So
that have been raised.
that's $1 million for us to vote for. So I'm just curious to you guys are going to start talking about Castle Road project, and I've been listening to the planning board's meetings a lot. I've been listening to pretty much it since they brought it up, and honestly, not talking about the past. Um, it's great in theory, but honestly, all you really need to know is that the town messed up. Okay. And so I personally would love to see some of that capital money go to um, the Castle Road project. Now you've used a lot of words like they used a lot of words for like support of the town and guarantees from the selectmen in our town. And honestly, I want that for our sidewalks. And since you guys are just starting to discuss it, let me tell you something. In this neighborhood, the momentum is building here too. And so is the anger, and so is the danger. And if you're not using Castle Road's money to fix the problem that this town created, um, I want to hear that guarantee too. And so do the people in this neighborhood. I kind of can't believe how quickly you voted to give someone $1 million. I mean, you voted for the town too, but
I'm afraid you're misguided on a couple of comments that you've made, Carrie.
So can I just can I
we
just continue with
we
my
did
can I
not-
continue just because I have a few more points to make and you can tell me I'm wrong about whatever, but I know the town will vote to appropriate that money and it is all up to us. But honestly, why don't you put on that same meeting you're going to appropriate money for Castle Road? I mean, like I love so many parts of this town, and now I'm hearing that 40 Steps is losing its funding. Is that a capital project that needs to be addressed now too? I'm just scared that you guys aren't gonna do the right thing for Bass Point. And hearing that the library just got a special town meeting, which I know costs a lot of money. And I've heard the money been thrown around when other people want special town meetings. But I want the same guarantees for my neighborhood. I want the same support of our town. And we don't have the money coming in from special donors. In fact, I wish those people would have stayed from the library and listened to what I have to say because it's dire here too. And we don't have $1 million to help. As far as I know.
Okay, Carrie, I think this has gone far enough.
Well, it's very important. You need to do the right thing. Okay, and talking about the past.
All right, cut her
might
off.
have
Please.
to.
That's enough. I will say that we have been very, very careful as far as whatever funds we are raising out of the sale of these properties. We have been very careful and mentioned it several times, even tonight, that money is being set aside to ensure that the sidewalks are repaired on Castle Road. I don't know where we went off track on that. But that's the way it is, and I know there's, I think the basic fear that I'm hearing is totally unfounded.
Well, I guess what I hear, let's keep it vague for August 20th, when the planning board have been talking about this for months and months. The neighborhood has been talking about it for months. School's coming, crosswalks are leading right into holes. Like, it's time to get real here. If you guys don't have a plan, I suggest you come up here and look and figure it out. Because,
It's
you
part of
know,
it.
bad things can happen here. And honestly, don't tell me you want to keep it vague. They know what they want to talk about. They know their agenda, and you should listen to it.
I don't know who said that we wanted to keep it vague, but you know what? I think that your thoughts and concerns have been heard, and we will move forward accordingly. So on to the next. Doesn't seem like we have anyone more that wants to speak. Okay.
You know, it just makes me sad that you guys can't listen to me for more than 2 minutes when, like, honestly, I talk to all you guys all the time, and it's heartbreaking that, I mean, I'm using words you guys are using in these meetings in real time. So,
Okay, Carrie, you're not
Like-
saying anything that you haven't already said. We're gonna move on now, and I
Okay.
will, and I move that we adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
where's the fucking pussy?
Second.
All in favor?
Patty Caras, aye.
Pat O'Reilly, aye.
Rob Tibble, aye.